Hello coding aliens, welcome back to my YouTube channel Code with Aki. How are you guys? We are back again with another clone project of real world application Cricbuzz Clone. You must be aware about Cricbuzz if you are a die-hard cricket fan. Cricbuzz is an application to check live cricket score, news, videos, trivia, player stats search, and everything related to cricket. You guys will get everything in Cricbuzz. So this is my another clone project, and this is the second part in which we are going to implement the player search features across the world who is playing cricket. So in this video we will integrate another API endpoints to get the details of players and all the statistics of that respective player from all the different formats of the cricket game, whether it will be ODI or the T20 or the test. You guys can implement the list A match or the first class match also, but I have make it a bit simple to grasp the concept. If you guys want to add all that include all that features, then you are good to go to add all that features in this build. So let's sum up what we are going to build today. So we will implement player search feature inside this clone project, and in the next part we will integrate the sports news API integration, where you guys will get all the news related to sports, whether it will be cricket or the football or any sports across the globe. You guys will get it from here. Okay, so let's go and see what we are going to do. First of all, you guys can see here I have another project here opened here on the localhost 3001. So first of all, I will recap what we have done in my first part. So in the first part we have list all the matches that is going to play or it will be going to held in the future. So all these matches are rendering on the screen in the match card. As you guys can see here, we have a match between New Zealand and the Bangladesh is going. Yeah, it is done because it a T20 and the Bangladesh has lost this match. New Zealand won this match here. So you can see here, you can also see we have this New South Wales and the Queensland match is going on, but I think it is an stumps there. So I will show you if there is any match that is going right now. Okay, so I think this match is going to Bombay Deccan and Sultans of Surat. When I click on this, now you can see here we have Bombay Deccan 254.8 versus Sultans of Surat 150 for 7, and it is going on. So that's the asterisk is all about just saying that the match is going on here. Okay, we have all the matches that is going to be played in the future is also on the screen. We have already implemented the feature, a filter feature here. You can search for your favorite team. I'm going to search for my favorite India. Here you guys can see here we have all the matches of the India, and my favorite IPL team are Mumbai Indians. So I will show you all the matches of the Mumbai Indians that is going to held from the 9th of April here. So here is the Mumbai Indians versus Royal Challengers Bangalore, and when you click on the C score, there will be a prompt which says that match is not started yet. Okay, so when the match will start, it will simply so as the score right now there. Okay, so we have all the very cool features in this build here. I'm going to simply show you I will simply filter the match type, match format according to the ODIs, T20 and the test. So I'm going to simply show you the T20 match first of all. So 2020, right? So this is the 2020 match, and we have this featured simply filtered. We have filtered the match right now there. So we have New Zealand versus Bangladesh match right now here. We have this when I click on the CS code, you can see here we have this here. Now next we have another T20 match that is going between the New Zealand women and the Australia women here. Okay, so when I click on this, so yeah, you can see here it is, I think okay, so I think the match is done and dusted right now. I think So we have another match, but it is not started yet. South Africa versus Pakistan here. Okay, now we have this 2020. When you search for the ODI or the test, you will get the respective matches. So basically you can see here we have the test match here for the which is going between the Sri Lanka and the Bangladesh from 21st of April. Okay, if you search for the ODI, so I will show you the match here for the ODI. So here is the all the ODI matches that is going to be held, or the match is going right now here. So all the ODI matches here. So we have implemented all these features uh, in the first part. If you have not watched the first part, then you guys can simply watch this part, and after watching this part, you guys can simply switch to the first part and just build the same thing, because it is very very important for this Cricbuzz to track the live score. I will drop the link in the description, or you guys can simply check the cards up right in the corner here. But you can just watch this video till the end, and after that you guys can simply switch to the first part of this video. Okay, so in this part, what I'm going to do, so I have already tell you that I will going to implement the player search features there. Okay, if you have any queries or any doubts, you guys are simply free to ask me on the Instagram. Simply follow me on Instagram. You guys will get updated everything very very early about what my next build is going to released, or what I'm going to build. I have just simply post it on the Instagram, so you guys can simply check out that things prior very earlier before I posted it on the YouTube. So if you guys want to be get updated, so I will strongly recommend you all to follow me. And if you have any doubts or any queries or any suggestions regarding my teaching style, or anything or any concerns you guys want to discuss with us, you can simply free to drop a message on Instagram. I will reply each and every message of yours. So let's go and see what I'm going to do here. So here you can see here we have a player search profile, and he's one of my favorite, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. And we have statistics of Dhoni right now. We have the personal information here: age, role, batting style, bowling style, the number of the teams he had played. We have a little profile about MS Dhoni, and we have all the batting statistics here. We have this bowling statistics here of the MS Dhoni here. So we have a very cool feature for searching any of the players. So I'm going to search for another player, Hitman Sharma, Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma. Okay, so it will simply search for Rohit Sharma here. So we have this Rohit Sharma here. I'm going to simply see the profile of Rohit Sharma here. The full name is Rohit Gurunath Sharma. Gurunath is his father. We have the personal information. We have the teams, profiles, batting stats, bowling stats of ODI, T20 test. You guys can simply add another column for the first class matches. Okay, so you have right to add, or you guys can simply add these things there also. Okay, so this is the player search profile feature that we are going to add or implement in this. So I'm going to simply show you another stats for the player, Steven Smith. So I'm going to simply search for the Smith here. So I will get a list of the player with the Smith title here: Daniel Smith, Ben Smith, Steve Smith. So here is the Steve Smith here, right? So Steve Barry Smith here. Okay, we have age and the biting style here, profile, T20 test. So this is the profile for the Steven Smith, right? Okay, so all you guys can see here, we have a very nice all the cards here. And this is we get all these cards from the from material UI accordion. So I will show you, or it's simply in this video we will explain what the accordion is and how to implement the accordion inside your build also. So this is the accordion, or so to work in the accordion, you guys have to simply install the dependencies of material UI code and the material UI icon. So how you will do this? So simply you guys have to open the text editor here. So we have already opened the text editor here. So first of all, I will simply set up a route first of all here for the player search. So simply I will set up the route here. So player route exact path here. Okay, right. And here we will simply set up the route for the player search. So player search like this, and here we have the component, right? So for the component we will simply create a component here for the player search. So player search, okay, now make it a capital. Okay, so we have this component, player search component here, and let's close this route first of all. Okay, so in the side of the component, let's build the component first of all. So I'm going to build the component of player search dot js, right? Grab this and put it inside of this component directory and make another file, player search dot css for styling this. So I will simply put it inside of the css folder, right? So we have this player search here. I'm going to simply okay, let's import the player search first of all, otherwise it will throw the error. So I will simply search for the player. Okay, let's go. We have this player search.js. Here we will simply generate a functional component using the snippets here, rfce, and here we have this player search, and here we will simply give a class name here, a beam convention class name. Thus we give a class name of player search, and here I'm going to add a testing purpose for the hello from player search component, right? Let's save this, go back to your app.js, and here you guys can now simply import the player search from source directory here. Okay, so we have done this. I'm going to simply minimize this section here and minimize this section also there. Okay, so here we have this player search feature here. I'm going to simply save this. This is the deployed version here. Okay, next I'm going to simply here we'll simply click on the player search, right? So nothing is showing here. Let's see. Okay, it is compiled, right. Okay, refresh this. Okay, so you can see here we have this hello from the player search is showing here, right? So hello from the player search is showing here, but it is not the exact way that we guys want to display it here. So I'm going to simply make it somehow looks nicer or better UI here. So we have this player search.js, right? If you see the deployed version of another build, we have this header section, and we have this match strip there, and then we have all these things here. So how we will do this? So simply inside of this player search, I will simply implement or simply add the component of the Cricbuzz, so we will get the both of the things from there. So I will simply add these things. So I'm going to simply minimize this and make it somehow bigger, so it will be very easy for us to debug from there. So we have this Cricbuzz there, and we have this matches, right? We have this matches here. Okay, so let's do this. So here inside of this, I'm going to simply grab this accordion. So basically we will going to use the accordion here. Okay, so it will be very easy for us to do this. So first of all, let's go back to your player search, remove this first of all, hello from the player search from there. Okay, next what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply remove these things also from there. Here we will simply remove these things also from there. Okay, so this is the exact thing that we will get it from get matches there. So simply I will simply remove this and create an empty fragment, here. And next here we have a component, Cricbuzz component, right? So Cricbuzz. Okay, so first of all import the Cricbuzz component first of all. So import the Cricbuzz component here. So Cricbuzz component, it will take two key props. So first is key, which is I will simply pass the key from there. So I will do it in a bit. Okay, so here we will what we will do, we will simply create an estate for the matches, or you can see here we have these matches on the strips there. So we will simply splice or simply slice the all the array to just generate only 5 matches from the from the starting. So I will simply show that thing. So how we will do this? So first of all, we will create a hook here, or use state hook here. Here we have this matches, and we have this set matches, right? Okay, so initially we will set the use state to, initially it will be an empty array, just like this. And next we have to simply limit the matches. So how we will do this? So simply we have a use state, next we have a use effect. So use effect, we have another important or very powerful thing in the React, which is a use effect. And here we will simply set the matches. Okay, so here we will simply set the matches. So but how we will set the message? We will call an API, right? So I'm going to simply show you the which API I'm going to call, right? Call in right here. So we have created a two endpoints for the API, one for the all the matches, and another API for the cricket scores there, right? So we will get we will use the first API, which is get match info. From there we will simply get the information of the both of the teams for the matches that is going between them. So I'm going to simply do the same thing here. So inside of the use effect, we will call the API first of all. So we have this get match info. Okay, so import it from the API there. So inside of this match info, it will simply a callback function. So it will simply return a JSON type data and array, and we will simply pass this data, set this data inside of the set matches. So simply grab this set match. I'll simply grab this set match right from there and put it here, right? So set match, and here inside of this set match, we will simply, okay, not there, not now. So simply inside of this set matches, sorry, my notification is on, I think. Let me close it first of all. Okay, so here we'll simply slice the matches, because it will generate a very long array of the matches of, I think, 200 plus matches. So I will simply slice the first 5 data from there. So inside of this set matches, we will simply pass it like this: data dot matches, sorry, matches, sorry, matchs, sorry, matches dot slice 0.5 means first 5 data, right? Here. So I think this is the right way to do. And next there will be a catch function also. So simply, if there will be any error, it will simply we will simply catch that error. So simply console.log and simply put the error right now. Okay, so we have these things here. Okay, we have matches and the set matches, and we have all these things here, right? Next we will simply pass the key here. So what I'm going to do, I will simply limit that things here. So simply make an object here. So simply limit, and here we will simply have this matches inside of this, right? And simply pass the key like limit dot unique. I have covered everything in the first part. So what I'm going to do here, so I'm going to simply do I have not explained it all because I have done this in first part. I will simply make it anyway faster, so that's why I simply do this. So here we have this after this we will have this both of these things, right? So here you can see we have a first 5 matches right now, and it will be simply shown up there inside of this day, and there also, right? So if I have imported the Cricbuzz, so I will simply import the CSS of the Cricbuzz also. So import CSS inside of this CSS folder, and we have this Cricbuzz.css, Cricbuzz.css, not inside this. Okay, so we have this Cricbuzz.css. useState, simply import the useState from the React. So I will simply import the useEffect there. Import the useEffect. Next, right, we have this useState here. So basically we have this matches, or we have list the things here. Next we have a search icon, right? So we have a search icon here. So I will simply grab the search icon from the get matches. So here we have this get matches, and we will simply grab the search icon from there. So it will be very easy for us to implement there. So okay, not in this, we have it is, I think it is inside the Cricbuzz right now. So inside of the Cricbuzz there, so here we have this search, and then we have this search icon, right? So I will simply copy this and will simply paste it down inside player search.js, right? And here we will have a search icon after that Cricbuzz, right? So we have this search icon here. So first of all, import the search icon from the material UI. So I'll simply import the search icon. So import search icon, right? So import, okay, import search icon from the rate material UI icons slash search. Got it? Fine. So we have these things here. We have implemented the search icon here. We have the search icon here, and next we have this input field for the search here. Okay, we will simply set the create a state for this search also. So simply we have this search and set search just like this, and simply put a useState. Okay, here initially it will be empty. Got it? And here we will simply put the value right now there. So here we will simply have a on change. So on change, and on change we will have an event as an object. So let's create an arrow function there, and here we will simply set the set search, and here we have this target value. Got it? So we have, okay, not value, okay, so we have this input field there, and next we will simply put the value right now also. So value there will be value will be here value. So search, sorry, crch search, right? Okay, so we have these things, both of these things implemented here right now. Okay, fine. Next we have to map all the players, or simply have to first of all, I will show you what we have done yet right now, and next we will implement the accordion. So we have this search feature here. Okay, so we have this search feature, right? Got it. Fine. So we have this search feature here, and we have all the matches here right now that is going on, going in between here. So we have all the matches here. You guys have to simply set the UI here, because it is not looking perfect here. So I'm going to simply grab it here inside of this app.js, app.css. Okay, let's grab this, make it a column, and now save this. Okay, I refresh this. Okay, so here we have these things here right now. Okay, so we have this search icon here. We will set it in using CSS later, right? So we have these things here. Now what I'm going to do, we'll simply have to implement the accordion here. So how we will implement the accordion? So simply you guys have to open here browser, and here you guys have to simply search for the material UI. Okay, materialui.com, and here you have to simply search for the accordion API, right? Here we inside of this search here, simply search for accordion API and hit the enter button, right? So this is the accordion we are talking about here. So it is a very fast way to implement a very nice UI, attractive UI here. So we have this very simple accordion. Simply when we click on this, here we have these things here. Okay, so this is a very nice way to build this accordion here. Fine. So we have this accordion here. Okay, next we have a disabled action also here. We have a controlled and uncontrolled accordion. So in this video, or in this part, we will simply use a simple accordion. So simply click on this, and where we have we will have these things, right? So I am going to simply grab this, we'll simply grab this typography and everything from there, and we'll simply grab the whole thing, copy it, right, and simply paste it down there. Okay, for the accordion also inside of the player search. Okay, so let's grab this player search.js, right? So here is the player search here. Okay, so we have this accordion there. Okay, we'll simply put the accordion here. Fine, so this is the accordion, simple accordion here. Okay, so we have a export default, so simply remove this first of all. Okay, so we have this accordion and we have this user style and everything from there. So we'll simply make it easy for you to debug this, or simply grab these things here. So we have these things here and we will simply implement these things. Okay, so we have this accordion, so I'm going to simply shed everything here. So how we will do this? So here and the bottom, in the bottom, after this div, I will simply set the simple accordion. So simple, okay, simple accordion. Okay, so we have this simple accordion here. Now save this and let's go to the deployed version, refresh this. I think it is still compiling. Okay, so it is compiling, so let it compile first of all. So it is compiled right now. Close this, and here we have this accordion here, and when I click on this, so now you can see it is done. We are done with this. Now we have to customize this according as per our need here. So we will simply customize it. So how we will customize it according to this? So as you guys consider, we have this accordion, then we have this summary, and then we have a typography, we have a details, and done. So we have two accordions. So I will simply remove one accordion from there because we are not going to use this. So we'll simply remove that accordion there. Fine. So next we have one accordion here. So and we will simply iterate over a number of accordion there. Okay, so we will use a map function here, so to get the player profile. So now our next our step is to just create precise things that just like this. So how we will do this? So simply next you can see we have a label with the name with search player here. So we will add the label there also, right? So we will add the label for the search player. Okay, so next inside of the here, after the before the simple accordion, we will create a div with the class name. Let's give the class name to player. Close this div, right? So we have this player div here, and now we'll simply grab this simple accordion and put it inside of this. And here above from the accordion will have an h4 tag, and here we will simply we will simply put here a search player, right? We have this search player and we have this simple accordion just like this, right? So simply show you where we will have a search player. As you can see here, we have this search player going on there, right? And now next we have one accordion here, right? So we have one accordion here, and we have these things here. So I think let's go back to the app.css, right? I'm going to simply display flags uncomment. Okay, now not this, uncomment this because it is very ugly. It is looking very ugly right here. So next we have these things here. Next we'll show you inside of the player search here. Okay, so let's go back to our API that we will use here, that we will use for the player statistics. So we have already generated our API in the part 1 of this. If you have not watched, watch this video till the end and then switch to the first part of this, and then you will simply learn how to generate the API. It is a very easy to generate the API. You guys have to simply what you have to do, you guys have to simply log in there. First of all, you have to sign up, and then you have to log in, and then it will generate an API key for you guys. And when you will have a API key, then you are good to go to implement all the features of the Cric API that we are going to implement here. So we will going to use an API for the player statistics. So I will simply open the Cric API. So we have a API file here, and here we will okay, so here we will get all the player statistics there, because I have already logged in there. So we are back there. Okay, so here we will simply generate or get the API there, and we will get the endpoint where from where we will fetch the information, right? Okay, so we are going to do this. Okay, guys, one more thing. I have said that I will change the API key, but you all guys have used my API key, and then everything is showing there. So basically, why don't you guys just generate your API key and make it happen, or just make that clone. Okay, okay, let's see. Fine. So we have these things here. Okay, so next we will simply test the API key. So simply click here on the text and test Cric API, and here we will search for the player, right? So we will have a search bar here. So first of all, we will have a player finder, and then we will have a player statistics. So first of all, you guys have to simply pass the two properties, one the API key and another is the name. Okay, so first one is the API key you have to pass, and another is the name you have to pass there, right? So I'm going to simply create another endpoint for the player statistics there. So we have a get match score, and we have the match information. Next we will going to implement the player statistics. So for the player statistics, what we are going to do, we will simply create a function, and we'll simply export that function. Okay, we will simply export that function with the player name, right? So next here export const get player stat. Okay, get player stat, and it will take name, right? It will take name, player name, and here we have a URL, const URL. Okay, not backticks here. Copy this, paste it down instead of this API key. Instead of this API key, simply put here, and here we'll simply put a API key, API key, and here we have this name. So for this name, we will simply name equals to we have a name that we will pass in the search box there, right? So we will have the name here. Fine. Next we will have a return fetch here. So it will simply return the JSON type data. So return fetch URL, then it will be a callback function here, and here we will simply have a res for the response, and next we just have to convert we have a JSON data. So simply convert it to the JSON, and next if there will be any error, so simply catch that error. So we'll use a catch here, and we will simply console log the error, console out the error. So here we have this console.error. So we have created the endpoint here, and now next save this, go back to your player.js, player search.js, and inside of the player search.js, and we'll simply create another another state for the player finder or the player stats here. So we will simply create another state here. So we have a player and the set players. So players comma set players, right? Set players, right? Initially it will be an empty array. You just it will be an empty array because we will have a number of players with the same name here. So we have this player, and next we will create another use effect here. So another use effect here, use effect. Okay, and here it will simply depend on the search what we will search here. So here we have this. Okay, so inside of this use effect, or we will simply add a function or functionality here. Okay, on click or simply add the functionality. So you can add you can create another function, or you can simply use a use effect here. So we will simply have a use effect if the search is not equal to an empty string, then we have a get player stat endpoint, which will simply return the name of the player. So we will simply pass what we have search here. So we have a set search, and set search what we will simply pass inside of this search. Okay, so what we will pass inside of this search here, it will go into the search in this search here, right? So we will simply pass this search here inside here. So we will pass the hook. We have simply passed the local state here, or search state inside of this player search with the name that we will simply add here inside of the search box here, right? So it will simply pass to the endpoint where we have given the name here. So I will simply show you here also. So here you can see we have a name here. So this name, it come from what we will simply put the name here inside the search box, right? So I think you will get my point what I'm saying. Okay, so let's go back to your player.js, and here we have this get player stat, and then it will simply callback function. So it will simply have a then, and here we have a player here, player state there, and we'll simply okay, so we will simply set the player. So set player. Okay, so we'll simply set the players and we will have a player data. So player dot data, because it will return an array of data of the players, right? So we have these things here. Next, if there will be any error, so we'll simply catch that error. So we have a catch function also. So catch error console.log error. Okay, so I think I'm going to simply console the data also. So what we will get from there, so we have this set data also, and next we will use a console dot log player dot data, right? So we will have a list of the players of then for that respective name. So here it will depend on the dependency with the search here. So we have this search dependency, and we have these players, and we have everything right now here. Okay, so I'm going to simply save this, and let's go back to your deployed version here. So we have these things here. Okay, I'm going to simply show you the exact thing inside of this console. Okay, so here inside of this console. Okay, so I will going to simply refresh this. Okay, so I'm going to simply refresh this. Okay, fine. So next we have, I'm going to simply search for Virat Kohli. Okay, not Kohli, Virat Kohli. Okay, so you will search for the full name, or you will simply precise it for the name. So we have all the data with the name of the Virat Kohli, and we have the player ID, which is very important to get the statistics of that player. So next we have this full name. Virat Kohli and the name Virat Kohli and the player ID. So this is the things that we want to get. So this is the player ID. So we have created this generated this API, or simply created the endpoint here to get the player ID for that respective player name. Okay, so when I will search for the Rohit Sharma, so you will get to know the here. So we have searched for the Rohit Sharma, and next we have an array of the 4 with the name of the Rohit Gurunath Sharma, and here is the player ID for that Rohit Gurunath Sharma. And next we will simply pass this player ID to another API to get the statistics of that player, right? So we have these things here implemented here. So next we have to simply we will simply use and simply map or get everything on the accordion there. So how we will do this? So simply we have set up the players. So for this what I'm going to do, I will simply use a map function, and we will simply get everything from there. So here we have this player, because we have a list of players. So players dot map, and we will use a map function. So players dot map, and here players dot map, and next we have this player. Okay, and here we'll simply pass a simple accordion here and pass the property. So properties will be a key. So key will be a player ID. So player dot PID will be the key, and the player data. So player. Okay. Next we will have the player data. So player. Okay, player data, just like this player. Okay, so we have this players dot map, and next we have this player. Okay, so let me check this. We have this players, and next we have this set. Okay, so we have this set player and players data, right? We have these things here. So we have mapped the accordion also. So when we will have a list of the players with the respective name, so it will simply generate an array of the list of the elements there with the name of this. Okay, so next we have done this. Okay, so I think we have this player. Okay, so next you can see here we have a four array of the accordions, because we it just return a 4 array of the number of the players here. So we have a with the name of the Rohit Sharma, we have a 4 different players with that particular name, and we have a 4 different accordions right on our screen here. Okay, so next we will set this value, or simply will generate another endpoint there. Okay, so you will get everything to know from there. Okay, so let's go and do these things here. So here at the top here, so inside of this accordion, we are passing the player prop. So we have this player. Okay, inside of this, and next we have the useState for the styles here. So I will simply will generate the stylings also. So I will do this very simple. How we will do this? So here we have this classes root, right? So here we have this font size. So we'll simply remove everything here, and we'll simply give the font size of 1.1 rem, 1.1 rem, and the font weight to the, we'll simply give the font weight just like a 500, right? So we have given the font weight and the font height. Okay, we have expand more icon. So I will simply remove this expand more. We will not going to use, we will use a buttons there. Okay, we will not going to use a typography also there. So simply remove the typography, and next we have a accordion summary there, and next we have a accordion and the accordion details. For this also I will simply remove the accordion details there. Okay, and now we will simply shut everything there also. Okay, so we are going to simply create another endpoint for that particular player name there. So it is very easy for us to do this. So how we will do this? So simply next I will simply do it like this. So instead of this player Okay, so what you are going to see here, this accordion 1, accordion 1, accordion 1, it is basically is a heading here, which is inside of this summary, right? And what we will get in you will expand this, and what we will get inside these things, it is the details there. So details is hiding part, and the summary is what we will see when we will see the accordion there, right? So we have this accordion summary, so we will set the accordion summary according to our needs. So here we will set the accordion summary here. So I will simply create a div here. Let's create a div and give the class name. Let's me give the class name to player name. Okay, not player name. Close this div. Okay, so we have this div inside this here. Okay, and next we will simply wrap it inside h4 tag. Okay, so we'll simply wrap it inside the h4 tag to the player name that we will get. So here we will have a player name here, so player dot name, right? And now save this. You will see the name of the player will be rendering on the screen with the Rohit Sharma and everything like this here. Okay, so we have this player name here because we have passed the properties player right there. Okay, we have a two warnings, so remove the warnings here. Okay, so we have this two warnings, we have removed the two warnings, and now next you can see here we have this player Rohit Sharma. Okay, we have 4 player name with the Rohit Sharma here, right? So everything is now going to very easy or very lucid, so you will simply grasp everything there. So it will be very easy for you guys to implement everything right now there. So we have this player name, and next we will add a button for the player to add this. So simply we will have a button, so button, and we'll simply add a on click functionality here, button, and here it will have on click functionality. So we will update it later, what we will add there after the on click here. So we will have a button, and for the button we will add a C profile. So C profile, right? So we will simply see the profile from profile of the player here, button. So simply import the button. First of all, import the button from the material UI core. So I will simply import the button here. Okay, so we have this button here, and we have this player profile here, right? Okay, so we have both of these things here. So let it refresh or compile. First of all, I think it's compiling here, so let it compile first of all. Okay, and next we will generate another endpoint there, or next we will go from there. So we have added the button there. Okay, so now our next step is to generate. Okay, so our next step is to just generate the list of the statistics for that particular player. So how we will do this? So if you go back to your Cric API, and there we have to simply find get the player statistics. So here we will get the URL to generate the player statistics. So here you guys have to simply pass the two properties. One is API key, another is the player ID, right? So we have this API key and we have this player ID there. So we will get the player ID from there. We have simply show you. So I have already show you there. So let's go back to your api.js, and next you guys have to simply create another endpoint there. So I will simply going to create another endpoint here. So export const and get player, or here we will have to generate all the statistics. So we will going to simply get everything here. So get player description, and here we will pass the ID of the player, and here we'll create an make an URL, just create an URL, grab everything there, copy this and simply paste it down there. And instead of this API key, you guys have to simply add the API key that you have already defined at the very top of the file, right? So we have this API, okay, API key, And for the id, player id, you guys have to simply pass the id here. So here is the id. Next we will use a return function, return, and the fetch functionality here. So fetch, and we'll simply pass the url inside of this fetch. It will generate a JSON type data. So then it is a callback function. We have this res response, and here we have this res.json, right? Then it will simply have, if it will throw any error, so simply catch that error. So error, and for this error we will simply give the console.log, and here we have this error, right? So we have created another API endpoint for the player statistics. Now save this, go back to your player search.js, and here we have this inside of this player search.js, and here we will simply create a state for the player description. So we'll simply create an state for the player description there. So next we have a player desk. Okay, right now we have this player desk. Okay, and set player desk, right? And now we have this useState. It will generate a list of array or information inside of this. Initially it will be an empty array right now there. Okay, and now next we will going to create call a function on the button click. So we'll here we have this button. I'm going to add on click functionality on the button. So on click we will simply pass the id, player id. Okay, so we have already show you from where we will get the player id. We will get the player id from what we will get search from there, and it will simply match in the API there, and we just generate a JSON type data with the player id there. So on click functionality, I'm going to simply add the player. I'm just going to simply get the player id from there. So we have these things. Okay, so on click we will simply set the stat here. So we will going to create a function with the name of stat, and here we will simply pass the player id. So PID is just a player id there. Okay, let's pass the key also there. Okay, so PID is the player id there. Okay, next I will simply going to create a function called stat, and here it have a id. Okay, so it will had a id with let's give it a name of key. Okay, and next we have a make an arrow function, and next we have a get player description that we will get it from API. So I will show you, just import the API. Okay, so player description, and next we will simply pass the id, which is the key here right now. Okay, next we have a then, and next we will have a desk. Sorry, not desk. Okay, we have a desk, which is stands for description there. Okay, we have a desk. Okay, and next make set the player stats. So player desk here, and simply we have this desk, right? So we have, okay, not describe, it is desk. So we have this we have set the player descriptions there, and now what we will get it from there, you just generate JSON type data with that particular player when you click on this things here. So I will show you here. So how we'll do, simply I'm going to simply console that information. So console, not confirm, console dot log, and we'll simply show you the player description. So player desk, right? Now save this. Okay, let it compile first of all. So it is compiled. Okay, I'm going to simply show you it in the console there. So we have a list of there, and when I click on this button, the C profile button, you will see the list of the information of that particular player. So I'm going to simply click on this button, and here we have clicked the button there. Okay, I think, let me open the network, whether it has called or not. So let's see. I think, let me refresh this. Okay, so let's refresh this page, and let's search for Virat Kohli. Okay, So here we have these things here. Okay, let me, okay, it is calling for the infinite time. I think there will be some issue in the code where is memory leak problem there. So let me fix it first of all. So we have fixed the issue for the memory leak here. Now next we have these things here. So when I click on the player profile here, so you can see here we have there is a player description is returned from there when we click on this C profile here. When I click on this C profile here, you will say, okay, here you will see the information there also. Okay, so here we have all the information: the right hand batsman, born, bowling style, country. Okay, so current age, data for the batting, bowling, every all the data for the first class list A there. Okay, so I will show you the if I will show you the date all the statistics of the Rohit Sharma here. So here we have a data for the batting here, bowling, batting, ODI, T20, first class list to A, and the test. For the bowling, we have all the information for the bowling here. We have the full name, image URL, major teams, name, player ID, batting role, profile, and the provider. So everything, all the statistics of the player is we have there. So now the only thing that is going to implement is here, only have to we have to make it just like this. So I think so I will show you Thomas Goldsmith Armstrong. I think he's nothing, nothing have information of this. I will show you the Dwayne Smith. Where is Dwayne Smith? He is a West Indian. So we have information of the Dwayne Rommel Smith here. So we have to simply put it everything just like this here. As you can see here, all the information here just like a Cricbuzz there, right? So it is a very easy step, but it takes a lot of your time for styling everything. So I will simply what I'm going to do, I will simply copy and paste the code here. You guys will simply I will simply scroll it down there, or simply scroll it there. So you will simply pause the screen and simply see what I have done there. So it is a very easy way to do this. So all the things that we will integrate will simply render it on the screen. Okay, so it is a very easy step here. So we are done with everything here, and then only thing that is left here, which is the which is just styling this or simply rendering everything on the screen, right? Okay, so let's go back there. So here we have these things, and now what we am going to do, and we have to simply render everything on the screen just like what we have see there. Okay, so we have accordion summary done. We are done with this accordion summary there. Now it's time to put everything inside of this accordion details, because everything will be it will be hidden, or it's just a hidden part there. So we don't want to show everything inside of this. So we'll simply put everything inside of this accordion details, right? So inside of this accordion details, we will simply generate do these things. So let's create a div class name. So you can simply do it your way. Okay, you can simply style it in your way, how you guys want to render everything on the screen. So we have this uh, profile details, and we have this profile detail info. So let's give class name of profile details info. Okay, info profile details info. Let's close this div. Let's create another div here with the details which have image. So we'll simply create another div for the image here to show the image here. So div class prof image profile profile details image, and simply close this. And here let's have an avatar. So we'll simply put this image in the avatar here. So avatar is a very nice way to show the image in a very effective manner. It is very UI friendly. avatar. Okay, so we avatar, it takes a source as a prop. So inside of the source we will simply pass the image URL here. It is the link of the player profile image URL. So we'll simply give here, so player 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 dot player dot image, and then just a URL, put a URL here. Now save this. You will see the URL of the image of the player will be shown on the screen there. Okay, so this is the exact way to implement this. So it is just a very simple thing to do. Okay, so okay, I'm going to simply click on this. Okay, so you can see here we have this these things here. Okay, but the image is not showing inside this. So let me check what is happening there. Player dot yeah, so not player desk, because we have a player description, not a player, right? So player desk dot image URL, right? Okay, so now it will see the image will be shown inside the avatar of that respective player. So let me see. Okay, so it is compiled. So player desk dot image imag image URL. Now you can see we have the images showing on the screen there, right? So we have these things. So I will simply and we are done with this. Okay, so I'm going to simply do this one more time, but next after that we will simply paste or simply copy paste the information or all the codes there. So player desk dot full name, so player desk dot full name. So it will simply reflect the full name of the player. Next, what I'm going to do, will simply render the country from which the player is from the player belongs to. So player desk dot country, country country. You can see here we have a country there where from. Okay, so we have this country which is from the India. Now save this. You will see the country of the player also there. Okay, so country of the player will be shown on the screen. Next we have a born, next we have the born and everything there, right? Next we have the personal information. So I will simply add h4 tag for the personal information of the player, right? So next we have a h4 tag, h4 tag, and it has a personal information. So simply we'll add the personal information here. So personal information. Okay, now save this. So we have this personal information, and next we will have born and everything will be shown on the screen. So I'm going to simply copy everything here and just will simply paste it down there. Okay, so it will be very easy for us to do, or it will saves a lot of time. If you guys have any doubt regarding this regarding this clone regarding this project or this tutorial, you guys feel free to ask your queries inside of this comment box, and just suggest me any videos or any clone projects in your mind, and you guys want me to do this, or you guys find to any suggestions or any questions, queries. So simply ask me on the Instagram, or you can simply join my Telegram. Everything and the link is in the description. So all the links and the link for the part 1 of this clone project you will get in the description there, right? So I'm going to simply copy this and paste it down there. Okay, so we have the player search. So we have pasted the code here. So here I'm going to simply scroll it from the top to bottom. So here we have done with this player information. Next we have a born information of the player. Next we have the age, right? Next we have the role, batting style, bowling style. Next we have the when the player is born, their current age, playing role, batting style, bowling style, and everything there. Next we have the team, the major team, the profile. Next batting statistics, then ODI T20 tests. Next we have this bowling statistics there for the player. Okay, so next we have the bowling statistics. We have the runs, we have the catches, we have the hundreds, and we have the half centuries. Next we have the strike rate, we have the number of the not outs, we have the number of the fours, number of the sixes, we have the number of the 50s, number of the hundreds. Next we have the bowling statistics for the ODI test, T20 matches, number of matches, number of innings, number of balls, number of runs, okay, number of wickets, number of average, economy, strike rate, bowling per ball per best bowling best ball inning here, best best bowling matches here, BBM. Okay, next we have a number of the 4 wicket haul, number of 5 wicket haul, number of 10 wicket haul, and that's it. So this is all the information that is that we get it from the API endpoint. And now I'm going to simply save this and will minimize this, and now you will see every information will be render on the screen for that particular player there. Okay, so let's see, it is compiled there. Okay, so let's refresh this page. I think it will take. Okay, so everything is refreshed right now, and now you guys can see here we have all the information is rendering on the screen. The only thing that is left behind is the styling there, right? So only thing that is left here is styling everything in here. So we'll simply we have a clear search.css, and now we'll simply paste the css there, and it will be styled there. So this is the exact thing that we have implemented here. So but I have not show you the line by line styling and the line by line rendering of these things, because it is a very basic things for you guys have to simply implement. If you guys get any issues or any queries or any difficulties on rendering these things on the screen, then feel free to ask me. I will reply each and every comments of yours. You can reach us to through Instagram. You can simply add your queries on the Telegram. I am almost on every platform there, right? So I'm going to simply paste the CSS code for this. Okay, so this is the CSS code for this. I'm going to simply scroll it from the top to bottom, so you guys will get it the exact essence what we have done there. We have these things here, so I'm going to simply scroll it from the top to bottom. Just pause the screen and just do these things, right? Okay, so we have these things here. Okay, let's me save this, and now you will see everything will be styled. Okay, so we have saved this, and now make it bigger here, and now it will be styled there according to the CSS that we have done there. Okay, so now I'm going to simply click on the C profile. Now you can see here the whole information is a very styled manner here. Rohit Gurunath Sharma here, and everything, and the information, the statistics and everything there. So it is all upon you. I know I have done a very weird styling here. It is not as good as you can do all. Okay, so it is all upon you guys do a styling here. So I'm going to simply show you another player profile, Zahir Khan, cricketer Zahir Khan. Okay, so here is the profile for the Zahir Khan. So here is the Zahir Khan here, and we have the Zahir Khan here, and now we have the everything information of the Zahir Khan there, statistics of the ODIs, T20s tests. Okay, so we have the bowling statistics and everything there. Okay, so we are done with these things here, player statistics here. So we are done with this player statistics, and now in the next part of this project, we will implement the news API integration, or the sports news API integration, where we will implement the sports news from not only the news that covers the cricket, but every sports that is going across the globe. It is just type of bulletin here of 20 top stories in the sports sports related to the sports and everything from cricket to football and everything there. So this is done, and we are done with the second things here of the player search player there. You can see here the styling. Here we have styled it. Just give a we have just give a time for the styling there, so it is a very nice styling here inside there. So you guys will give your styling, or you will give it a very nice effective styling there, according to yourself. Okay, so we are done with this in this build. In the next part we will implement the sports news API integration. So that's it from this build. If you like this video tutorial, or if you like this tutorial, then just hit the subscribe button, and let me know in the comments below which part, or in any part, if you get stuck or you have any doubts. So I'm taking leave right now from this, and next in the next part we will meet on the next day. I think it will be 3rd of April. That we will release this our third part of this clone project, and that will be the last part. And till then, do coding and keep making a lot of stuffs. We are looking to have a good response from all you guys. If you guys search or simply share this content to in your friends